the Elden Beast, the final boss in Elden Ring, and more notably the only major boss that I'm yet to make a video on. And the reason being for that is that I hadn't come across a good enough or suitable weapon or build that makes him an absolute pushover until now. But just before we get into that, make sure that you book your tickets onto the sub train. Yeah, that's right, self-promotion at its finest. Make sure you hop on board by hitting that sub button down below, grab your tickets, because we're aiming for 500 subs by September. And of course, if you jump in now, you will always have bragging rights of being one of the first 500 people to ever subscribe to this channel. So make it happen. And of course, hit that bell whilst you're down there too. But anyway, self-promotion aside, I have genuinely stumbled across a weapon that deletes everything, and that includes both Radagon and the Elden Beast. And of course, which weapon am I talking about, you ask? And it's none other than the Wing of Astel. Now I know there's been a lot of coverage on this weapon, but I've never really used it because I didn't want to just jump on a bandwagon with it. But it's just so good, especially with the recent updates with other weapons taking a major hit, such as the Rivers of Blood. People are crying out for something just as good. And well, you can look no further than the Wing of Astel. It's possibly the most heavy-hitting weapon you can obtain in the game right now, and its skill move scatters an explosive Astel barrier in front of yourself, which if the enemies are in front of that, you can wave goodbye to them. Because not only does it stagger them so then you can perform a critical hit, but it also deals an absolute shed ton of damage. Its quick mobility, being like a short curved sword, allows for quick movement to get up close and personal with bosses, and its charged attack also staggers enemies, so even if you don't use the skill power, you can use the charged up heavy attack to do the same thing. And it's just all round a devastating weapon if used correctly. Now of course, it's all well and good, you know, shouting to the rooftops about how good this weapon is. Well, where do you even get it? For those of you that don't know, you will need to progress throughout the story. More specifically, you'll need to defeat Radahn in order for him to open up the pathway to the city of Nokron, the secret city that's hidden underneath the Lands Between. From that entrance is also where you get the Mimic Tear. You'll need to head towards the Aqueduct of Nokron, where again, progressing in that area, you'll come to a boss fight where you need to take on 2 gargoyles. Defeat the 2 gargoyles, and at the end of that arena will be a coffin waiting for you to transport yourself through, because Elden Ring's weird like that and we jump into coffins to teleport places. And here's where you'll get to the grace named the Ainsel River Main. Again, if you're progressing through Rani's story as well, this is where you pick up her miniature version to continue on with her quest. And from the site of grace that's waiting here for you, follow the path that I'm showing on screen. You're going to want to progress as if you're heading towards the Scarlet Rot Lake. But as you head into the cave that's got a few ants residing in it, hang a left, kill the 3 ants that are standing in that sort of like grave pit area. Again, go past them and head towards the opening. Hug the cliff round to the right, and following the path you'll be able to then jump onto the ledge below, or the structure below, and there will be sat a chest with the Wing of Astel sat inside. Obviously on my screen there's nothing there because I've already collected it on this playthrough, but for you guys, if you haven't collected it yet, this chest will be able to be opened, and inside will be the Wing of Astel. It's literally as simple as that. All you need to do is head to this area, obviously dodge the Astel Beast that's trying to obviously attack you, but again, once you get to the structure, he'll stop attacking you as you're behind him and he can no longer see you, making it easy to just simply pick up the weapon and get the hell back out of there. Now the cool thing about the Wing of Astel is that it scales with both intelligence and dexterity. So obviously if you haven't been making that kind of build, obviously use a larval tier to put quite a few points into intelligence and dexterity to make the best use of this weapon that you can. Of course, upgrade it to the max level if you can using somber smithing stones, and once you've leveled it up to the max level and put as many points as you can into intelligence and dexterity, you literally have a fully fledged hand cannon at your disposal. And I'll let you in on a little secret, this video was originally going to be the best like intelligence build, hence why I'm also using a staff and spells in the gameplay, but it was becoming more and more apparent just how incredible this weapon is. As I mentioned at the beginning, I've never made a video in order to show the best way to defeat the Elden Beast, and by using this weapon, it genuinely deleted him. Obviously the build itself, I'm going to show you that on screen so you can see all the levels and the items that I'm using. Again, just to be clear, I'm in New Game Plus 4, so I'm obviously a fairly high level. But if you're going to be using this weapon, I would always suggest to put the majority of your points into intelligence as well as some into dexterity, so you can start scaling the damage output on the Wing of Astel. I'd say if you're only like level 100 or so, maybe put like 20, 25 into vigor, maybe again like 20 in endurance, and then similarly for mind. But literally you only need to put the minimum amount of strength in because it doesn't really scale the weapon all that well, and just put the rest of the points available into intelligence and dexterity, and you'll be absolutely good to go. Again, personally, I always use the Black Knife Tishi as my summon because his special ability and his skill power with the Black Knife is just genuinely really handy to have, especially when you're dealing massive damage yourself. To then have somebody as well able to use his death ability to constantly and gradually deplete enemies' health bars is really, really good to have. And I also use a Black Knife of my own just to, I don't know, double the amount of death that's being applied to bosses. Again, just coming back to talismans, it's very sorcery based. So I had the 2 talismans to boost my sorceries by 8% and I think 5% for the second one, with Godfrey's icon as well to help with charged attacks, and the talisman you get for the Alexander quest to also boost the power dealt with skill powers as well. This combination of the Wing of Astel, the Black Knife, and also the Black Knife Tishi genuinely makes any boss an absolute doddle because it gives you options. It allows you to get up close and personal with that hand cannon of the Wing of Astel's special power to deal some heavy damage, and then you can back off, use the Black Knife special ability as well to hit at range, and of course mixing it in with some mage spells as I'm doing on my current build again allows you to sit at range if you need to. But again, with the Wing of Astel you can get up close and personal and deal heavy damage if that's also required throughout the boss fight. The Wing of Astel can literally stagger any boss, including the Elden Beast, as you're going to be seeing on screen as well. But it just genuinely made the fight with Radagon so much easier. Like, this was the easiest attempt of killing both Radagon and the Elden Beast that I've ever had playing the game. But once you've turned Radagon into dust, of course you're going to be entering the fight with the Elden Beast, and the moment you've been waiting for, the best method to obviously take him out is when you, as soon as you spawn in, he's going to be doing his area effect attacks. Simply run behind the Elden Beast. Again, I have no shame, just completely spam the hell out of L2 or LT if you're on an Xbox, because this guide is to show you the easiest way to defeat the Elden Beast. We're not showing the most morally accepted way of defeating the Elden Beast. With the fully upgraded Wing of Astel, just simply sit behind him, spam the L2 as I say, because as you're seeing on screen, it deletes his health and will also stun him, allowing you to also critical hit him. And again, Black Knife Tishi will most likely be keeping his distance, also dealing that death effect. You can also do it yourself if you have the Black Knife. You don't need to, but if you want to, you can also do that to deal constant damage whilst you're destroying him with the Wing of Astel. And you pretty much rinse and repeat. You only really need to do this like 3 or 4 times, depending on like the RNG of his moveset that you get with the Elden Beast. Of course, he's going to fly up into the air, dodge his rings whenever he does that attack by jumping over them so you're not trapped in a circle when the explosion occurs, and just simply try and get as up close and personal as you can with the Elden Beast, dodging his attacks. He's a very big character, so it's very easy to see when he's attacking, and it's very easy to dodge his gigantic swings of the sword. But just try and stay on top of him, try and use that LT skill power, and if you were ever struggling with this fight before, you're going to be the most relieved person on the planet when this fight all of a sudden becomes an absolute pushover. But no, as I say, you can also use spells to protect yourself or boost damage with incantations. Obviously Golden Vow is a good one if you want to use seals instead of using obviously a staff like I was using in this particular fight. As I say, this build, if you will, is not perfected. It was just like it was literally me trialing like an ultimate mage build, which failed and turned into the ultimate weapon to use for the Elden Beast. So this build can be fixed, or at least it's not the best out there to fit the Wing of Astel. There's going to be a lot better options out there in terms of what you can and can't use. But feel free to, you know, mix up the gear, mix up the talismans that you're using. Let me know in the comments down below if there's anything that's going to be better suited for the Wing of Astel, or at least if you know anything that will be better to use to boost the attack with this particular weapon. Because like I say, this is very much a trial. But even me just winging it, and no pun intended in there, and just using whatever I had available to me at the time, this weapon was devastating. And I know it can be improved, I know it's not the best build out there, So yeah, as I say, let us know in the comments down below how you can improve this build. And yeah, that's pretty much it. This is the best way in order to defeat the Elden Beast with absolutely no trouble and no sweat whatsoever. Hopefully this video has helped out, or at least given you a different idea to approach the fight and maybe use a different weapon that you were never really ever considering, because that's the beauty of Elden Ring as well, is there's so many different weapons out there, and the weapons that you think that you're maybe not necessarily tailored to end up being absolute god slayers like the Wing of Astel. But of course, that's pretty much everything from me in regards to this video. Hopefully, as I say, it's been enjoyable and you found this helpful. Let me know you've enjoyed it by hitting the like button down below. That'd be greatly appreciated. And of course, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, help us get to that 500 subscriber mark. We're trying to push for it by the end of September. Can we do it? I don't know. I'll leave that up to you guys. But yeah, before I ramble on too much, I'm going to leave it there. So thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next video of whatever it is that I make. Bye bye.